Hello, my name is Musonda Mulundu Chipampata, and today I basically just wanted to speak about how to handle loneliness and the issue of the fear of rejection. I realize that when you're going through having bipolar and any anxiety or depression, we seem to have a lot of issues that we fight with. Um, I've seen this in my support group where a lot of people come in and they have a lot of problems with loneliness and anxiety and fear of rejection. So pretty much what happens is we tend to isolate ourselves and we seem to live in a bubble. And only when we meet with people that we are comfortable with do we truly open up properly. Yes, some of us are able to function okay around people, and you wouldn't even notice or realize that there's anything wrong or anything that's going on deep inside our minds. But the truth of the matter is, there is an issue to discuss. There is the issue of loneliness and how we deal with it. So basically, what I've realized is that since we suffer a lot from things like loneliness, and we find it very difficult to socialize with people, to mix with people, or when we get close to a partner, maybe somebody that you're intimate with, you tend to be extremely close to that person. So I think that's where the aspect of people calling certain people clingy to say they're a bit too much. That's part of the aspect of having those loneliness tendencies. So my advice basically is to keep busy, to find some hobbies that you can do to keep your mind busy, and to confront it, to accept that if you do have that aspect of your life, you need to deal with it. Hiding it or trying to not to deal with it will cost you quite a lot. So, like in my case, what I've done is I keep myself busy. Blogging is one thing. I like to network a lot with people. I'm still shy, so I find myself to be socially awkward. This past weekend, I did something outside of my usual comfort zone, which is I did go out and I did meet with some friends that I hadn't seen in a very, very long time. And it was just nice to mix with the old me, the me that used to be very interactive in those days and things like that, and try to understand where I've come from and where I am right now. So, depending on where you are and what's happening in your life, you will tend to see different sides to you. So another thing is, I'd like to encourage everyone is not to let situations um, bog you down. Just because you've been through something tragic, don't let it stay on your mind, because again, we tend to keep things on our minds. We don't let things go easily, or when there's a problem, we think about it, far too long, instead of confronting it immediately and dismissing it like most other people do. Some people have a problem, they sort it out and they quickly move on. But we tend to hang on to it for a prolonged period of time, and that brings about a lot of pain and anxiety. It tips us back into a state of depression. So, like I said before, what we basically need to do is to find those things that interest us. For those who are into pets, you can get a pet. If you already have a pet, then that's obviously a bonus. If you've got certain hobbies that you find interesting, then focus on those things. The idea is to always keep your brain from looping on the problem or situation. So we've got a very creative mind. Therefore, what you should do is, instead of creating in the negative side, you need to start creating in the positive side. So if there are those things that you want to do that really help you get ahead, then you need to focus on those things. Because the minute you stop working your mind, is the minute you'll start feeling like there's nothing worth living for, and then you'll slump back into that state where you just feel hopeless and you feel like giving up. So my encouragement is just to have that mindset to say there's always something better out there for you, you know. So for instance, if we focus on the fear of rejection, we tend to, before we've even tried, we tend to have these preconceived notions that this is what the result is going to be. And if you go into that situation and you find that that's the answer, then you'll be like, I knew that would happen. But the fact of the matter is, every normal person does get rejected. We go through things like that, but it's the pleasure from getting accepted from whatever situation it might be, whether it's something to do with a proposal that you're doing. Like last week, I was anxious because I'd submitted a proposal, a business proposal, to a close friend of mine. Unfortunately, the friend of mine did not see the advantages of what I put in the proposal. Instead of giving me the contract, he's decided to use the little information that I did in the little survey that I did in the proposal. So that doesn't really worry me too much, because I was going to do a much better job had he gone ahead and given me the deal. So now, obviously, when I was nervous when I submitted it, because he was not too happy with the cost and everything, and that put me in a state of anxiety. But then I quickly had to realize that there's better things out there for me. So I focused on the other things that I do, and now I'm beginning to get more business from other areas, other aspects that I had even neglected or I was willing to walk away from, So that's how it is when you look at rejection. You have to look at the positives as well, because yes, we'll get rejected, but then there's always good things coming through as well. So it's always look out for the good things and celebrate the good things more than, and then when you get rejected, don't dwell on the rejection. That's what I do. When the good things come, I celebrate. That way I stay in a happy space. And then when I get rejected now, yes, I will go into a disappointing phase, and I've learned now to just push it away and not dwell on it, and immediately start thinking of replacements for that rejection so that I can feel happy again. And it's working fine so far. So that's basically what I'd like to encourage us to do, because if you dwell on it and you don't move on, you'll be stuck in a space. Whilst the rest of the world is moving forward, you're moving backwards, and you're the only one doing it. And you'll be thinking in your imagination that everybody is going through that, but it's not like that at all. Yes, I know it sounds difficult to believe, but it's nothing like that whatsoever. So yeah, that's basically, I just wanted to speak about those two aspects: loneliness and the fear of rejection. Let's not isolate ourselves too much, and let's not create things that are not there before we've even tried. And when we fail, Let's look at other alternatives, and let's celebrate the victories when we've got them. So that's basically what I wanted to say today. I want to thank you very much for listening. Have a good day, or good night, or good evening, whatever time you're watching. Thank you.